Hello, friends. In tonight's video, I wanted to talk about business, my business, and how I'm doing in my business. This isn't an easy video to make because this is very important to me. It's very near to my heart. It's been my heart and soul, my blood, my sweat, my tears. But I definitely wanted to be transparent in this video. And I wanted to talk about the challenges and the struggles that I have running my business. I haven't had a paycheck in years. I haven't had a paycheck in years. Meaning, when I'm building those baskets and I'm setting up, QBs make money. Cutie Pie's boutique make money. But me, the actual person that build the baskets, that set the foundation for QBs, I haven't had a paycheck. I know, you guys, I know. But you're running a business. Surely you're making money. I'm not making the kind of money that I would love to see. Yes, I do sell baskets, but my bank account does not reflect what I do. That's a little embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. It is the God's honest truth. I often wonder, am I just having a hobby here? Or is this a real deal business? And maybe somebody out there is feeling the same way that I'm feeling. And I just want to let you know you're not alone. It's really tough running a business. Big business, small, whatever you're doing, it can be really challenging when you don't have the real guidance that you need in order for it to grow. I'll be honest, I did my research. Yes, I did. I did my research. I knew that I wanted it to be not only a business, but a legit business. I didn't want to just be outside, with a table and no real vision as to what Cutie Pie's boutique would be. If you look at my poster right here, you see that I have eyelashes. You see the neon green, the pink, the black, the white. You even see empowerment, beauty, brand, you. These are all the things that I thought of when I was building my business. I wanted to be empowered, do the things that I love to do, and not feel, ashamed about it. Yes, I make baskets and you feel me? I didn't just want to be out there to be out there. I wanted a vision, I wanted a plan. But the truth is, I didn't really have a plan. I still don't. You know how they tell you, well, you need to have a business plan when you walk into a bank and ask for a loan? QBs don't have that. I really don't. I just have a vision. I have something that's been planted in my heart that I knew I wanted to do. And so, I set about building a little, building blocks for the company. Well, let me go ahead and register my company. Let me go ahead and do the paperwork. You know, okay, fine and dandy. I did that. And it feels amazing. Don't get me wrong, it feels absolutely amazing. But when I realize I haven't had a check in years, is because when I'm out there and I sell and I make some money, it's really for the business. It's not for me personally. And I have yet to pay myself. I have yet to write a check to me in my name that says, good job. You worked. This is your check. Go cash your check at the bank. and use it for what you need. What I've been doing is the money that I've made in my business, because I haven't gotten a paycheck, I turn around and use the money from my business to support my lifestyle. Bills, rent, you know, insurance, gas, maintenance, you name it. When you see me in those haul videos, is because I have gone to the store with the money that I've made in my business and I reinvest it into the business. So, you reinvest so you can keep your business going. But what I'm talking about is it not translating to my bank account. I heard this being said before. I heard this. And I am not going to lie, my spirit and my soul just was not ready to receive it. But now I'm starting to understand it. But I heard, okay? She has said, you're going to know if it's a hobby or if it's a real business based off of your bank account. And I was so offended. Let me tell you, are you going to tell me that my blood, sweat, and tears is just a hobby? But it had to be planted in me the same way the vision of the business was planted in me. And that seed needed to grow, meaning I need to get serious about my business. I need to be absolutely serious about paying myself. Now, would you go and work for a job and don't get paid and you work day and night? Your time off that you could be with your family and you're at work when you could be somewhere on a holiday, but instead you're already preparing for the next season? You wouldn't want to work for someone like that. You'd be like, heck nah, I'm not working for them. Or how about those jobs where you be like, they don't pay me enough? They don't pay me enough to be putting up with this. Meanwhile, as an entrepreneur, having your own business, you have many, many days and many, many nights where you work your hardest. When you go to sleep with an idea and you wake up to that same idea and you're cultivating it and you're trying to figure out how you can implement that idea into your business. But it's really hard when you don't see the fruits of your labor. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Cutie Pie's Boutique don't make money. What I am saying, me as the business owner of Cutie Pie's Boutique, I haven't made money because I'm consistently reinvesting the money. I'm consistently, looking for what's best for my business. And I just want to let you know, if there's anybody out there that's going through that, you're going through financial struggles in your business, you're not alone. I'm going through that too. If there's anybody out there that feel like, I don't know if this business thing is for me, you're not by yourself, friend. I know what that feel like. I contemplated making this video because it shows the vulnerable side of entrepreneurship, the things that people really don't talk about. When you look at my channel, you see, hauls and different shopping trips, Bath and Body. But let me tell you what I was doing. I would go drop like $1,000 in Bath and Body. But did you know I didn't even have $1,000 in my bank account? How crazy is that? And the reason I was dropping that kind of money, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I was just going in there in one shopping trip. No, over a series of months, time, you know, when you spend $100, they let you know you have a reward. So, honey, I had looked up one time and I counted the rewards and it was over 10. So it lets me know, wow, girl, you really like dropping some money up in here. But the dawn and the realization is that I didn't have $1,000 in my bank account, my business bank account. Sitting back, wondering, how come these banks don't give me a chance? When they are watching me, it's like I'm waiting on them, but the truth is they're waiting on me. And it's kind of like how God works, you know? We be so busy wanting him to do something. And he be like, nah, boo, I'm waiting on you to do something. Because when you start doing something, I'm going to do something. Meaning, if my accounts can show consistency of deposits, my account building up, maybe the bank will look at me and say, hey, we see you. We see that you are building your business. Maybe we can offer you a loan or offer some type of assistance to help you reach your goals. But if they're not seeing anything, then how can I be upset that they're not giving me an opportunity? Or how about the fact that I am a woman-owned, black woman-owned business? How much money is out there for women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses? Girl, I can't even get my hands on the free money. Okay, the grants, Hello Alice, all these different places that consistently offer money to businesses to help them grow. I can't even access that money. So, for a while, I was just feeling so down and depressed and upset about it. But I still come on my channel. I'm still very upbeat and I still keep going. But the truth is, it's been a struggle. The business has been a struggle. And without real guidance and knowing where you're going, having a business plan or figuring out what you want to do, it can be hard. But I just wanted to come here because I feel like you guys are my family. We've been growing over the months. You guys are coming here, whether you're subscribed to my channel or not, you still like the content and you come to the channel. So I felt like I would want to have this conversation with you guys. So, first of all, let you know you're not alone. Second of all, to let you know it's a real person behind this channel. It's a real person behind Cutie Pie's Boutique. And then, now that I really think about it, I haven't even introduced myself to my own channel. My name is April, and I run Cutie Pie's Boutique. So, yeah, if you feel like you want to support a channel like this, some real raw transparency to let you know things is not always glitter and gold and that I'm trying to find my way, then of course stay. If there's anything I said in this channel that resonate with you, then you know what to do. I don't want to just keep telling you to, oh, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment. I want you to do what you feel best in your heart when you watch my content. And at the same time, I am a growing person. I am a growing channel. I don't know everything. But in case you haven't noticed, I'm the type to just jump off the porch, honey. Because if I sit there and keep on trying to wait for everything to be perfect, I might never take the leap. So I'm very happy that I went out and established Cutie Pie's Boutique. I'm extremely happy that I did that. But I would be remiss to keep coming onto this channel and make it seem like everything is just peaches and cream. I'm always going out there and I'm always selling out, and you could be like me. The truth is, I'm not always selling out, boo. I've had many times where I've taken home baskets. I done made baskets to sell and took home just as many when I didn't sell out. So I wanted to let you know that it can be a challenge in any business you decide to take on, but it's definitely a good thing to become educated, figure out what your business plan is. Because I realize I do need to have a business plan and I need to take my business more serious. And I do need to write a check to myself for real though. Okay. So I can be more stable in my business. I go out there, I meet a lot of great people. They be looking for me now. If I haven't been out there and then I get out there, a day or two, where you been? Oh, I saw you wasn't out there. So I do understand that if you show consistency with anything, you're going to definitely grow it. You're going to definitely grow it. But the things I will be changing from now on for my business is to take it way more serious. While I have established the paperwork and the groundwork for the business, now it's time for me to focus on finances, being more responsible, paying myself so that those numbers can grow. And I'm actually very grateful for hearing, the difference between a hobby and a real business. At the time, I was real sour about it. I even stopped watching her channel because I was just, it hit me right between the eyes. But I needed to hear that. And one thing about Boss Lady Fee, she teaches us. She teaches the bosses how to become a boss, and just like a teacher in the classroom, I'm the student that's in the background, honey, in the back, so busy talking and not listening, you know, and she's calling me out on my stuff. So yeah, thank you, Boss Lady Fee, because even though I didn't want to hear that, I needed to hear that. And I just wanted to come to the channel and let you guys know that while you do see me, dropping videos and you hear my upbeat voice, it's not always sweet over here. It's real transparency. The same way I had to come out and talk to you guys about how I make deliveries, without having a car, how I had to be really real with that. Like, I could have pretended like, no, I want somebody to understand that if you're out there and you're struggling with it, it's okay. You're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. And I'm glad that I was like vulnerable and able to talk about that in that video of my true feelings, how I was feeling real down, how I was telling anybody with ears, oh, they took my car, but then one day I had to stop complaining about what was wrong and start getting to what was right. And then I took another approach and I started making deliveries on the bus. So in a situation like this where my business isn't exactly where I want it to be financially, I just know that it's time for me to mature a bit more when it comes to my business and be really serious about the business, you know? And yeah, definitely pay myself, because if you are working, honey, if you are working and you making all these baskets, you definitely need to pay yourself, you know? Definitely do that. But if that's a mistake you're making, maybe today will be the last day you do that. You absolutely deserve to pay yourself, from your business, because you are the one that's working really hard. It's not a vision for everybody, but it's your vision. And the reason is your vision because that's something that God gave you. He didn't give everybody, my vision, a Cutie Pie's boutique, but He gave it to me. And He gave me the tools that I needed to build it. So now that the groundwork has been laid, now it's time to get to the next steps and the next levels of business. But if you resonate with anything that I've said today in this video, then feel free to stay. And if you haven't decided to subscribe to the channel, that's totally okay. I still appreciate your viewership here. And just know that I'm an actual human behind the camera and that I'm still growing. But turn on those post notifications so anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first to know. And yeah, just a video of transparency where I am in my business life. That things isn't always what they appear to be. But as long as we keep going and we keep trying, we're going to get there eventually. So if you're out there and you feeling that way, just know you're not by yourself, boo. I'm over here going through it too, boo. But hey, I'm still in it for the long haul. Every time I look at that logo, I created that logo. I created those colors, you know, that statement, empowerment, beauty, brand, you. That's all from me. I didn't pay somebody else to come up with that. That's something that came from my heart. When you're branding, you got to build your brand for sure. Whatever your business name is, you have to build that. You know, Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, it's how you think, it's what you are. It's not necessarily makeup and lashes or anything like that. It's you, the person that's within that company. And that's why I ended it with you, because all of that stuff, empowerment, all that still leads back to you. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about your business, and what you want to do. So QB's is not out, you know what I'm saying? Her bank account ain't where it's supposed to be right now, and I could be a little honest about that. Honey, what they say, business broke? That's your girl right now, business broke. Okay? But I'm still working on that. And one day them numbers going to be what they supposed to be, probably exceed that. But I just wanted to come out and talk to you guys a little bit. Come to the QB family, the friends on here that mess with me, and come check out my videos and stuff. I really appreciate you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a nice one.